guys, hope you're having a great day, foodie friends. Today we're going to a kind of fairly new place. It kind of just opened up in the Interstate Building, and if you're not familiar where that is, it is where the Easy Music Center is if you're a musician, or it's on King Street prior to Sheridan and Keomoku over there. It's in that building downstairs, and we're going to go check it out. It is a little bar that makes musubis. And not bar in a sense where they sell drinks, just like a little bar where you can sit on the nook and they'll make you fresh hand rolls and musubis. You can do stuff to go as well. So let's go, come along with me and let's check out this place. If you're wondering, there it is, the Easy Music Center, and this is King Street, and it has that weird bike lane parking. I'm parked right here. You can park right there where that silver car is coming out of, and they validate, but I figure it's easier to just park here. Also, I wanted to say that I got this idea from a friend, Nat. Hi, Nat. And she took pictures on IG and showed this place, and otherwise I wouldn't have even heard of it, and that's why I'm excited to try all of the food that she took pictures of. Looked fabulous. This is where you turn in and get your validated parking. It goes down a garage. I used to come here a lot for a chiropractor I used to go to, and this place that it opened up in used to be a little convenience store that would make really good musubis in a Korean style. They were owned by like Korean ladies, and people would come down to get grab and go bentos and stuff like that, but I guess they're not there anymore. This is supposed to be fancy, and it's supposedly crowded and popular, so we'll see if we can take it to go or whether or not I want to eat in. It's right next to Kurai Crab as well. Holy moly, I went in there and there is a line outside of people waiting, and I have to wait 20 minutes just for a takeout order. I should have called it in, but it is packed in there, and there's people with their names on there to eat in at the bar, and I didn't want to take pictures of anybody because, you know, that's kind of weird. But it is packed in there, people are still waiting, and they close in about 2 hours. That is nuts, because they only open till 2 p.m. So I'm gonna wait and get back to you. All right, I'm here at Makiki District Park. Just found a close place to eat. And the funny thing is, after speaking about Nat, the person that I know that took pictures on IG, she was eating there and she said hi after eating, and she had to leave to go back to work. So she must really like the place if she's been there many times. So we'll get into the food. I ordered a couple of items. This is a quick look at their menu if you're wondering what kind of hand rolls and, you know, musubis they have. The special of the day, which they seem to have often, is the hamachi jalapeno. And this is what it looks like coming out of the little case if you do takeout. So the hand roll is pretty much wrapped up in some saran wrap. You wouldn't get it like this if you dined in. And then what's interesting is when you do takeout, they give you these little nori sheets so you can wrap it. And it's not soggy because it's separated. It's fairly easy, almost like the 7-Eleven kind, where you open up the package, then you unroll your hand roll and the rice, and then you wrap it up like this. See? Pretty simple. Mine kind of broke though. Got a lot of flies here. Hey, Rod. Rod from Australia got me this. It's from Australia. It's like their type of off, but it's like a rolly thing, almost for your pits, you know? And it smells pleasant. It doesn't smell like off. Hopefully that keeps the flies away from my food. I don't know how to roll it on this table, but it smells pretty good. It smells almost like hand sanitizer instead of that nasty off spray. Anyway, I digress. Let's take a bite out of this. I love jalapenos, and it's so yummy. So you can see that there is cooked hamachi. It doesn't look raw. Some tobiko, and it looks like the jalapenos have been soaked in shoyu. I wouldn't say the jalapenos are very spicy, but it's got a nice jalapeno flavor to it and a crunch because they're fresh. And the hamachi has a smoked flavor to it. Very interesting. The rice is really good too. Quite hard to eat though, because the nori gets stuck. But yeah, it's kind of messy too. This one is the shrimp tempura one. He said it's not the one on the menu that was out of stock. This is the special of the day, so it's like 2 mini shrimps instead of 1 long one. Also comes with some fish roe. Looks like some green onion. So before I wrap it up, this is what it looks like out of the wrapper, the 2 shrimp. And it looks like it's got some kind of sauce on there. I think it said there was a spicy miso sauce. All right, that's what it looks like. That's good. See that lady? I picked the table away from everyone else and she decides to sit next to me and drink her drink. But I continue talking and she probably thinks I'm nuts. So she left. But this is good. That miso sauce is super sweet. That's delicious. And it still had a crunch even though I did takeout and drove here. It's not too far from the restaurant, but it's still crunchy. Imagine just sitting down and getting it fresh out of the fryer. Again, not spicy, even though it says spicy mayo. The jalapeno one wasn't spicy. It's just got a good flavor. So very mild in spice. It's more sweet than anything, like a sweet miso. And the shrimps are just very fresh tasting. It's just very meaty and sweet, like a natural sweet seafood taste. I really like this one compared to the other one. I usually like hamachi and jalapeno dishes, like the type you get on an appetizer with the ponzu sauce. But that one was a little bit too marinated for me. It was a lot of soy, and that smoky flavor kind of threw me off. So some people might like it, but I'd rather have this. Also on their menu is a fried musubi. This is what it looks like. They have different flavors too. So I got the mentaiko with cheese. It's cream cheese. Sounds very interesting, and I like mentaiko, so, which is a fish roe. I remember having that version, this fried type of musubi, at Hoku's, which is in the Kahala Hotel. That's their breakfast buffet that's very popular. And I will admit, I didn't really care for it. I found it really, really sweet and not to my liking. So hopefully this one's a little different. You can see all those char marks from the grains of rice, how they fried it up. Looks like there's some kind of sauce oozing out of it. I'm not sure if there's a sauce that's glazed on there. Oh yeah, maybe. Okay, in she goes. It's very salty. I'm not sure where it's coming from, the sauce or the mentai. There's the cheese. Lots of cream cheese in there. This one's, you know, to be honest, I'm trying to be honest if you're not into those types of tastes, but some people do like this. I don't think it's my thing, because like I said, I had it at Hoku's and I didn't really care for it, but this one's really salty. And I don't know if it's the grains of rice. It looks like each individual grain of rice had been soaked in like a shoyu type of sauce. It's just really, really salty for me. And then when you get into the cream cheese and the mentai, which is the fish roe, which is already salty as well, it's a little too overpowering for me. Let's try one more time and get more of the cheese, just to give it a fair chance. You know what? The mentai and the cream cheese is super good. The mixture of it itself without the rice is really good. It's right when you start eating the rice. If this actually was plain rice, because you can tell it's been seasoned and like a lot of shoyu or some kind of sauce, a soy-based sauce was brushed on it, it just makes it way too salty. So if it was plain and then fried, I wouldn't mind it. All right, I got 2 more rolls to go. If you don't want to wait for the hand rolls and the fried musubis, because that is what takes a while to make because they're handmade to order, you can get these. These are already pre-made and they're sitting on the shelves, and there's all kinds to choose from. They've got saba, a pork tonkatsu one. So I got the mentaiko again. I love just regular musubi with mentaiko. I don't know, I just like the flavor for some reason. So if you're in a rush, you can just grab these, go to the counter, pay for them. You don't have to put your name on the little waiting list. So that's what it looks like out of the box. So you can see the mentaiko oozing out. And then, bam, I'm so not neat. I don't even know how to wrap this, so it's probably gonna look terrible. But anyway, it all goes down in the same place, so either way, ugly or not. That's super good. So what I like about mentaiko is it's got a little bit of spice mixed into the fish roe. So it's got a little spice to it. It's really yummy with rice, and it's, I don't know, got a slightly mild fish taste, not too strong to me, but it's also creamy and mixes really well with the rice. Definitely one of my favorite musubis wherever they make it. This one's a good one, very delicious. And lastly, it is the unagi musubi, or hand roll, whatever you want to call it. This is what it looks like. Got the grilled unagi on top. Again, here's another closer view without the saran wrap in the way. Looks really delicious with a nice glaze over all that grilled unagi, which is eel, and some sauce on the rice. I really like these little wrappers where you can wrap your own nori. It's just so neat, and Japanese, you know, they're so innovative on how to keep food fresh and convenient, and like good as, you know, eating in a restaurant when you're taking out. All right. Ooh, that's good. Really nice and soft, the unagi meat. It does have a really nice flavor to it. Not too salty, not too sweet, but still has a little sweetness. And the meat is just fall apart, tender, flaky unagi meat. It's just a very gentle dish. I'd get it again. One of my favorites as well from the package of choices I got. The sauce isn't too salty either. You can tell it's a soy-based sauce as well, but not as salty as the fried musubi. Really good. And I'm not too much into really sweet teriyaki type sauces, but this one has a slight sweetness, like I said, and it's okay to me. It's just the right amount of sweetness. All right, so that was some of the items at Gohan. Definitely try their soups as well. It's just a little bit too hot for me to eat soup, but they have that tonjiri soup that is similar to the soup that I tried and loved at Texas Fujiyama, or Fujiyama, Texas. I'm dyslexic. Anyway, that was a delicious soup. So I'm sure their soup is just as delicious as well. It's a vegetable miso type soup, and I'm sure it has some kind of meat in it, perhaps pork like the other place. But they also serve soups as well, and different kind of mixed drinks like matcha drinks and fancy drinks like that. And also some Vietnamese coffee, I believe I saw on their menu. I might be mistaken. But other things other than hand rolls. Obviously the popularity is very popular. Going in there, I was very shocked at all the people waiting for a seat, and the place was packed. It is quaint and tiny, not a big restaurant, but still they had a fair amount of seats, and to be packed like that after lunch hours, that is pretty impressive, because I went at about 12:45. It might be lunch for some people, but usually people take lunch at 11:30 or 12, and it was just packed with people, and even people doing takeout. It was just kind of crazy. So if you do have time, I would suggest, if you want to dine in, to go right at opening. I'll put the hours, as I do every restaurant, in the description box below. And hopefully you enjoyed this and it interests you to go get some. If you don't have time to wait for a seat, just call it in and get some takeout. I actually waited, he told me at first a half an hour, and then he said 20 minutes, but actually, you know what? It took like 15 minutes to wait, which isn't bad to make something on the fly. I didn't call it in, and they made everything fresh, including frying the musubi. So if you are, in a rush, just go in there and grab the pre-made musubis, and you don't have to wait very long. Again, the parking lot is on the bottom of the building where I showed you in the beginning of the video, and it's all validated, so you can take your ticket and get it validated at the restaurant, even if you're just taking away. And basically that's it. Thank you, Nat, so much for showing all the food there. That got me really interested in going, and it's just such a coincidence to see you in person again after all these years. It's been a long time, and She is a big time, or I don't know if you still do it, but she was a big time Yelper. I met her when we were Yelp elites at those elite parties a long time ago, when Emmy used to be the head of Yelp for Hawaii. Anyway, I digress. If you like this, press the like button. If you found it informative, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on another food adventure next week. And also have a very happy Thanksgiving weekend, everybody. Take care, have fun, have lots of food, and see you later. Aloha.